Welcome back to Shock Files. Today, we're about to witness one of the most unbelievable stories ever told. The story of our entire planet. Imagine compressing 4.5 billion years of Earth's history into just 10 minutes. In that tiny slice of time, continents will crash into each other. Oceans will appear and disappear. Life will rise from microscopic cells. Dinosaurs will dominate the planet, and humanity will arrive in the final seconds. Everything you know today, mountains, forests, cities, and even you, are just the latest chapter in a story billions of years in the making. So buckle up, because in the next few minutes, we're traveling through Earth's entire evolution, and trust me, the journey is far more dramatic than you think. The birth of Earth. Our story begins about 4.6 billion years ago. Back then, there was no Earth, no sun, no planets, just a massive swirling cloud of gas and dust drifting through space. Eventually, gravity began pulling this material together, forming the young sun at the center of our solar system. Around it, leftover debris started clumping together, colliding, and merging. One of those growing masses would eventually become Earth, but early Earth looked nothing like the peaceful blue planet we know today. It was a hellish world. The surface was covered in molten rock, volcanoes erupted constantly, and giant asteroids slammed into the planet almost non-stop. The entire planet was basically a giant ocean of lava. The violent creation of the moon. Then, something enormous happened. Around 4.5 billion years ago, a Mars-sized object crashed directly into Earth. The collision was so powerful that it blasted huge chunks of Earth's material into space. Over time, those fragments gathered together, forming our moon. Without that collision, the moon might never have existed. And without the moon, Earth's climate and tides would be completely different today. It was one of the most important accidents in planetary history. The first oceans. As millions of years passed, Earth slowly began cooling down. The molten surface hardened into solid rock. Volcanoes released massive amounts of water vapor, carbon dioxide, and gases into the atmosphere. Eventually, the planet cooled enough for that water vapor to condense. And then, something incredible happened. Rain began falling. Not for days, not for years, but for millions of years. That rain slowly filled giant basins across the planet, creating the first oceans. For the first time, Earth had liquid water. And where there is water, life might follow. The first life on Earth around 3.5 to 4 billion years ago, the first forms of life appeared in Earth's oceans. These organisms were incredibly simple, tiny single-celled microbes that lived in shallow seas. They had no eyes, no brains, no bones, but they had something extremely important: the ability to reproduce. Over time, these microscopic life forms began evolving and spreading across the oceans. Some of them developed the ability to perform photosynthesis using sunlight to produce energy, and as a byproduct, they released oxygen. At first, oxygen was almost non-existent in Earth's atmosphere, but slowly, over hundreds of millions of years, these microbes began changing the entire planet. The oxygen revolution. About 2.4 billion years ago, something called the Great Oxygenation Event occurred. Oxygen levels in the atmosphere began rising dramatically. For many early organisms, oxygen was actually toxic. Entire ecosystems of microbes went extinct. But for others, oxygen opened the door to more complex life. Cells began evolving new ways to generate energy, and eventually, some cells joined together to form multicellular organisms. Life was slowly becoming more complicated. The explosion of life. Then, around 540 million years ago, evolution suddenly accelerated. This period is known as the Cambrian explosion. In a relatively short time, the oceans filled with an incredible variety of life forms. Creatures developed eyes, shells, skeletons, and complex body structures. For the first time, predators and prey began appearing in the fossil record. Life had entered a whole new stage of competition and survival. The oceans were now full of strange animals that looked nothing like anything alive today. But evolution wasn't finished yet. Life moves on to land. Around 400 to 450 million years ago, life made one of its boldest moves. Some organisms began leaving the oceans and colonizing land. First came simple plants and fungi, then insects, and eventually early amphibians crawled out of the water and began living on land. Forests spread across the planet, massive swampy ecosystems formed, and oxygen levels in the atmosphere became incredibly high. At one point, insects grew to enormous sizes. Dragonflies had wingspans nearly 2 feet wide. Earth was becoming a strange and fascinating world. The age of the dinosaurs. Then, about 250 million years ago, Earth experienced the largest mass extinction in history. Nearly 90% of all species disappeared. But from that devastation, a new group of animals began rising to dominance: dinosaurs. For the next 165 million years, dinosaurs ruled the planet. They came in every shape and size imaginable. Some were small and fast. Others were gigantic, towering creatures that shook the ground as they walked. During this time, the continents also began shifting into the positions we recognize today. But the dinosaur era would eventually come to a sudden and dramatic end. The asteroid that changed everything. Around 66 million years ago, a massive asteroid struck Earth near what is now Mexico. The impact released energy equivalent to billions of nuclear bombs. Wildfires spread across continents. Dust and debris filled the atmosphere, blocking sunlight for months or even years. Global temperatures dropped. Plants died, food chains collapsed, and the dinosaurs, along with about 75% of all species on Earth, went extinct. It was one of the most catastrophic events in the history of life, but again, extinction made room for something new. The rise of mammals. With the dinosaurs gone, mammals began evolving rapidly. Small furry creatures that once lived in the shadows suddenly had the entire planet to explore. They grew larger, they diversified, and eventually some of them developed advanced intelligence. Primates appeared. Then early human ancestors, and finally, around 300,000 years ago, modern humans emerged. Compared to Earth's 4.5 billion year timeline, humans arrived in the final seconds. If Earth's history were a 24-hour day, humans would appear just seconds before midnight. The present day today, Earth is a vibrant planet filled with millions of species. Oceans cover most of its surface. Forests and deserts stretch across continents. And humans have built cities, technology, and civilizations. But despite our achievements, we are still just a tiny part of Earth's enormous story. A story shaped by cosmic collisions, evolving life, and countless dramatic changes. And the planet's evolution is far from over. Continents will continue drifting, species will continue evolving, and millions of years from now, Earth may look completely different again. Ending so the next time you step outside. Look at the ground beneath your feet. Those rocks, those mountains, those oceans, they carry the memory of billions of years of history. And somehow, against incredible odds, that history eventually led to us. Thanks for watching Shock Files. If you enjoyed this journey through Earth's evolution, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more fascinating stories about our planet, science, and the mysteries of the universe, because sometimes the most unbelievable stories are the ones that are completely real.